you ready?
Hello, I'm Lucia Coward and a huge welcome to Snetterton Race Circuit for the first round of the Dunlop Radical UK Cup. We'll be covering every round of this fantastic series, and as you can see behind me, we have already got a packed field of SR3s and SR8s, and a number of the drivers have actually upgraded to their SR8 RX model, which is even faster. So we're looking forward to some really dramatic high-speed racing. If you haven't seen Radical Racing before, how does the UK Cup racing work?
The UK Cup Championship's really geared up to deliver a mini enduro style race meeting. So a lot of our drivers get to drive together as part of a team. We have some fathers and sons, colleagues, friends, associates, former racing buddies, and we have a 40-minute race there that comprises a mandatory pit stop. There's no refueling, but it's delivers some nice camaraderie for people, you know, dragging your co-pilot out midway through the race and cheering him on where it's required. So yeah, the UK Cup races are a good way to get into that level of sports car racing.
So I'm here with John Reynolds, triple British Superbike champion, who is about to head out for qualifying for his first Radical race. So John, thanks for joining us. How are you feeling?
Absolutely petrified, to be quite honest with you, Lou. No, I mean, it's a great opportunity. I've been working with Phil Abbott from Radical. They've got a fantastic car here, and I'm just really grateful that they've allowed me to race it. It's fantastic.
And have you been out testing just yet? How does it compare to riding a bike?
It's like a controlled explosion. I've been sort of comparing it by. Yeah, I have been testing. I've tested the brands and then a couple of times here as well. I describe it that I'm sort of 25 yards behind the car. You know, the car's so good, and I'm not good enough driver to get the best out of the car just yet. But as time's gone on, I've chipped away, and I'm only about 10 seconds off the pace now. So.
That's brilliant. And you haven't raced for about 5 years, have you?
No, that's right. No, I mean, the last thing I was racing was superbikes, and that's a totally different ball game, absolutely. But I really do have to say that, you know, coming into this championship, I thought it was going to be, you know, just a bunch of guys having a bit of fun. But I'm working with this team, with Radical. Team works Radical, and it's just like a factory team. You know what I've been used to with when I've been in British Superbike. We have technicians, we have computer wizards. And you know, the car and the setup is absolutely brilliant, so I'm just blown away by it.
It's super professional, isn't it? And you've got an SR3 RS here. How have you found it in terms of braking and cornering in comparison to obviously what you're used to riding the bike?
I mean, the braking is phenomenal. It's a totally different way of braking. With the car, you actually have to slam the brakes on to slow the car down, then ease the brakes off as you go into the corner. With the bike, if you did that, the back wheel would come up and you'll be over the handlebars straight away. So it's a different way of doing it, but you know, we're working on it. And as I say, I've got a fantastic crew around me that every time I come in, we download the data of what I've been doing, tell me what I'm doing wrong, and then I go back out on the track and try and rectify it.
Tony, you've just qualified third for your first race of the season in the UK Cup. How did you do it?
It was okay. We moved up to SR8s this year, so we've had a good pre-season testing. Car's good. We've made some progress with the balance and everything. But basically, I guess I was a bit thrown by the pace from the other guys, because I think my time was like 2/10 quicker than the Pro Pole from October. And there's two guys in front of us. I basically just didn't go fast enough. I mean, the car pace was in the car. And just didn't find the time, but it was okay. I came in, bled the tyres, and was on for one last lap, and basically there's somebody had spun in turn 2, so that was the end of the lap, and then Manow got pole on that lap, so but it was okay. Third's not bad for a first time in the SR8, so I'm okay.
Absolutely. And what prompted you to change up from the SR3 to the SR8?
We came here, we had a test day with Radical in October, And I guess once you drive the car, you have to buy it. So it was a good marketing ploy from them. So we signed up there and then and moved up to 8. So.
And what was the clincher for you in terms of handling of the car that made you think, right, I have to get an SR8?
No, it's just so fast, right? I mean, it's fast everywhere, and the balance is pretty much the same as the 3, but it's more of a car to drive. It moves around a bit more, and it's more fun. So I prefer the 8. So we've made the right choice. We just need to be a bit quicker.
So James, you've been racing out in Dubai and Abu Dhabi over the winter. How's that improved your racing?
I think it's helped Tony a lot. Over the winter he's had a lot of track time over there. Obviously the guys in Europe have been working hard over the winter and not doing much track driving. Obviously it's cold and wet over here, so we've had the advantage of being out there in the sunshine and getting some extra running in. Obviously we've been running an SR3 out there, so we've now moved up to the 8, which is a completely different car in itself. But it's been great for track time and for Tony to get used to doing new tyre runs on a new set of tyres. So no, we've really enjoyed it out there.
And how have you found the differences between the old car that you had, the SR3, and the SR8? What's the main difference for you?
For me, the SR8 handles more like a sort of a GT car almost. You've got a lot more weight with the bigger engine, the V8 and the gearbox, so you can really throw the weight of the car around. And obviously you've got another almost 200 horsepower, so a lot more kick down the straights. So it's a lot more challenging in the 8.
So I found some newcomers to the Radical UK Cup Series, and we've got here Patrick and Phillip Jeans, father and son combination, who have got a brand new shiny SR8 RX. How are you getting on with it, guys?
Really good, actually. It's really good fun, isn't it? Really good fun. It's a lot easier than I say easier. It's a lot easier than bike racing, let's put it like that.
And that's what you're used to, isn't it?
Yeah, we've done a lot of club racing over the years, and not serious club racing, but loads of track days. And you can just push the car more to the car beyond our limits, but not to the car's limits, where with a bike you'd be off. So, and at my age, I can't keep falling off. So we decided to have a go at cars. And
what would you say is the main difference between racing bikes and racing cars? Like, what do you find most difficult in terms of the transition?
It's a lot safer. It's noticeably safer, isn't it? A lot safer, a lot faster. Everything comes up when you're a lot quicker. You've got to concentrate a lot more. But once you get going and you get a bit of the rhythm, it's really good fun.
And you've previously raced with the Toyota MR2 series. So how does racing with Radical sort of compare?
Well, they're a lot quicker initially, but the races are a bit longer as well. So I'm trying to get into endurance racing, so that's kind of where we want to go. The cars are much more responsive, much faster. There's a lot of air on them, which is the biggest difference between that and the MR2, really.
And how have you found the setup of your car today during qualifying?
Well, we struggled yesterday with the test session. We had a few issues with alternators and stuff, but the guys at Quintec and Slipstream got it sorted out, and the setup's really good for this quali. We had a little bit of understeer, but we set some good times. Probably should have had pole in the first one, but got pit by manhole right at the end.
And so where have you qualified for the first race?
We're second on the grid for the first race, and we're fourth on the grid for the second race, so good basis to go and try and get some results from.
It's almost time for the start of race 1 here at Snetterton for the Dunlop Radical UK Cup. There is absolutely everything to play for, and we've got to get off the grid.
Thanks, Lucia. There certainly is full field of cars and a very exciting driver lineup, not least this man, British Superbike champion from 2004, John Reynolds. Rolling start as ever in the Radical UK Cup, and this is how they line up, with Manhalos due to be on pole but not there, so Zac Chapman all alone on the front row of the grid. Row 2, Tony Wells and James Abbott, and then in 10th place we've got Matt Bell, who heads up the SR3 class from a very full field. There is Manhalos in the pits. What's the problem?
I just spoke to one of the mechanics and he said that a bolt had come loose, but they're trying to rectify the problem. As it stands, hopefully he'll be able to get out there for the beginning of race 1.
Thanks, Lucia. So disappointment there for Manhalos. The pace car peels in. We're about to go racing here at Snetterton for the first time in 2012. The lights go out and away we go. And it's Zac Chapman who streaks with the early advantage. Although Tony Wells should get away well from third on the grid, so they fan out into riches. Yes, there's Tony Wells in third. We're in car once more, John Reynolds. He's just up behind Andy Cummings as they sprint through riches onto the hairpin at Montreal. Zac Chapman in the white 28 car has got the advantage, though he misses the apex by quite some margin there through the hairpin. I don't think Tony Wells is going to be close enough to challenge. We have possibly got a bit of bumpy borrowing. Yes, we do. It's Mark Smithson and Terence Woodward who've gone off cars 1 and 88. Let's see how they come up through the field, as we have got plenty of battles throughout the pack as Simon Tilling in the number 9 car just makes the move through Palmer. John Reynolds still bottled up behind the number 6 car there of Andy Cummings. There's a check in the mirrors en route to the hairpin at Agostini. All looking very calm in the cockpit as Peter Bamford comes under pressure from Tilling. That's Tilling in the predominantly white car. Peter Bamford, better known as a Ferrari racer there in the black number 12 car. He came into Radicals midway through last year. Enjoyed it so much that he has put himself in SR8 over the winter and is right at the sharp end of the field, the leading trio. Turn off the Bentley straight. There's Bamford in 4th position, Tilling in 5th, and this is the fight for 2nd in the SR3 class. In the white car, it is Chris Headlam. Just behind him is Gary Kane as they sprint down the Bentley straight. The leader of the race overall in the SR8 class, Zac Chapman, trying to put a bit of daylight between himself and Tony Wells. He's coming into all sorts of pressure from last year's Radical Clubman's Cup champion James Abbott. Through the bomb hole they go and on towards Coram Curve. Zac Chapman making the step up from the Toyota MR2 Championship. He had a one-off appearance last year at Brands Hatch in the Radical UK Cup, went very well, and he has started 2012 even better. This is great here for this neck. Just to the rear of that pack is Matt Bell, who is leading the SR3 class. Also in the SR3 class, John Reynolds, who has found himself plenty of playmates in his car racing debut. James Abbott there in 3rd position through Riches, still chasing Tony Wells. Tony, it's hard to believe, came to last season pretty much as a novice driver and has just progressed so much. Talking of progression, the number 1 car of Mark Smithson carving through the pack. Here's Terence Woodward, the other casualty we had at Montreal on lap 1, and also making progress. He's certainly up to the tail of the pack, but Mark Smithson is absolutely ruthless as he carves through. Still, John Reynolds is behind Colin Noble. He can't find a way through, and he's going to go a place down here to the recovering Mark Smithson. So Smithson, another place gained in his charge back through the field. Given only in the early stage of this race, he's been in emphatic row. He's already passed Noble as well on the way into Agostini, and Chris Headlam as well at a push through Agostini there at the foreground of the pitch. You could just see him sideways through the hairpin. John Reynolds turns into Hamilton. We've got more battles amongst the SR3s. It's Tom Jordan who is just ahead there of the 38 car of Mark Howard. Howard looking to try and make the move. Throggies can't quite do it. And they've got Terence Woodward as well on their tail. Woodward looking to gain those places that he lost in the first lap race. Here comes the fight for 4th position. Simon Tilling there at number 9 car, still behind Peter Bamford, and Tilling is just being closed as well by Patrick Jeans in the number 7 car. So those 3 fighting it out for 4th, 5th and 6th position. Through Coram Curve, Bamford real pressure into Murray's on this occasion. There's Matt Bell in the 52 car. He is leading the SR3 class. This is a very fantastic start to the season from Matt Bell. His first weekend back in racing after 3 years out. The leading trio turn through Riches, and Tony Wells will appear to be pulling away here from James Abbott, just closing in onto the tail of Zac Chapman in the lead the race. Chapman through Montreal close to the apex this time. Tony Wells a little bit wide, and wider still. James Abbott shows how hard this trio of cars are pushing. It's Gary Kane and Chris Headlam arrive into Riches, as does Terence Woodward, multiple Radical champion. Woodward looking to recover that ground he lost on the first lap of the race, doing well at the moment. As into the race comes the pole sitter Manhalalos, several laps down. Great work from the team as he joins the action. He's not going to be challenging for the podium here, but he may get some championship points. Let's see how far up through the field he can come. We're going for a break.